Before the game, the Reds made their first roster move of the season, and that was to send Colin Moran down to AAA just to get some more positional versatility. He's basically just a corner infielder, and he's not even a good defensive corner infielder. He's basically just a lefty bat on the bench, and we don't really pinch hit enough to just have a spot for that. So instead, we are going to be getting some more positional versatility up from AAA in the name of Taylor Motter, the super utility man. We'll start things off here at Great American Ballpark as the Cincinnati Reds play host to an NL Central foe in the St. Louis Cardinals. And on the hill for the Reds is the left-hander Reiver Sanmartin, making his fifth start of the season. Has not gotten off to a great start on the year in his first four starts, but looking to rebound here against the Cardinals. But in the top half of the first inning with two outs, Nolan Arenado's going up the middle with a ground ball that finds a hole. After that, Paul Goldschmidt walks, so it's back-to-back base runners for the Cardinals, and then the next batter up is Old Man Pujols, who proceeds to ground out to shortstop as Motter rips it across the infield, and that would be the end of the inning. On to the top of the second now, as then another ground ball is going to find its way up the middle, this time by the bat of Tyler O'Neill, so his speed is on first base. After that, it brings up Dylan Carlson, who's going to go down the left field line into the corner, and that's going to be a two-bagger for Carlson, and O'Neill's speed and Fraley's lack of defense allows him to get into third base. So second and third, nobody out. This bloop ball from Molina somehow lands in as neither India or Senzel makes the catch, so it's a 1-0 Cardinals lead now. Runner on first and third, nobody out. A deep pop fly here to center field. Senzel camped under it. He's going to get it into the cutoff man, but a run is going to come in to score, so it's now a 2-0 Cardinals lead on a sac fly. But then Tommy Edman could have been worse as Taylor Motter lays out and makes the diving catch at shortstop. Just recently called up from AAA, making plays in the field, and then Sanmartin strikes out Edmundo Sosa to get out of it. So it's a 2-0 Cardinals lead now as we move on to the bottom half of the second, and Joey Votto is going to draw a walk to lead things off. So he's on first base. Then it's Tommy Pham finding a hole on the right side of the infield. First and second, nobody out for the Reds here in the second inning. After that, it would be up to the men behind them to drive them in, and they could not do that as Moustakas goes down swinging. So does Tyler Stevenson. He chases the slider, and then after him, it would be definitely not me pressing the wrong button while reaching for something and accidentally tapping the L2 button on my controller. That's not what happened. Get your mind down to the gutters. So we move things on to the bottom half of the early top half of the fourth now, as Molina gets another bloop hit. Jake Fraley's lack of defense showing up once again as Molina's on first base, and then Harrison Bader hits a ball all the way to Kentucky, as that is now a 4-0 lead for the St. Louis Cardinals here. Bader's second home run of the season. We now move things on to the bottom half of the fourth, where the bats do come alive a bit for the Reds as Naquin hits a line drive into center field, and usually the very elite glove in center field of Bader cannot make the diving play. After that, it's Tommy Pham going down the left field line, and then Naquin's going to try to get into third base, but he just does not have the speed. But then Pham does get into second base. So runner on second with two outs, and then Mike Moustakas is going to connect on one, sends it into the right field bleachers. It's a two-run shot off the bat of Moose, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. So move things on, top half of the fifth now. Tony Santillan comes on, loud and heavy, blaring through the ballpark. And with a runner on first and two outs, he would get Pujols to pop up to right field as Naquin camps under it for the final out of the inning. He would stay on for the top of the sixth and work another scoreless frame as Naquin puts away another popped fly, that time from Molina. Move things on top of the seventh, where almost getting out of it scoreless, but instead Sosa's going to get onto the infield single. After that, it brings up Arenado, who's going to get one into right center field, and the lack of defense is shown again. Senzel late getting to the ball, can't make the diving play, and the runner's going to score all the way from first. RBI double for Arenado makes it 5-2. After that, Paul Goldschmidt comes to the plate, and he's going to hit one off the ankle of Tony Santillan, and that's going to put another runner on the infield single. So first and third for the Cardinals with two outs, and then Pujols finds a hole up the middle, and that's going to drive in another run and make it a 6-2 lead for the Cardinals. Now onto the bottom half of the eighth, Tommy Pham, the former Cardinal in the box. He's going to go up the middle, fielded by Sosa. The throw over to first, drags him off the bag, and they give the hit credit to Pham. So 4 hits on the day for Tommy Pham, and then Moustakas connects on another one. This one finding the bleachers as well. A 2-home run game for Moose, and it puts the Reds back within 2. It's a 6-4 game. They would not do anything else in the inning, so it's on to the bottom of the 9th and trying to score on Giovanni Gallegos, who has not given up a run yet this season. Aquino comes in to pinch hit for the Reds to lead off the inning, and he's going to be striking out on a slider. Chases that one outside of the zone, so 1 down, brings up Nick Senzel. He's going to go down on a slider in the zone, just could not make contact, so quickly 2 down in the inning, but then Jake Fraley does what he does and draws a walk. So the tying run is now in the batter's box for the Reds, in the man of Jonathan India, but he's going to hit a ground ball. The third baseman's playing right on the line in Arenado, and that's going to be the end of the game. 6-4 is your final in this one, as the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Reds here at Great American Ballpark. Nolan Arenado went 4 for 5 on the day. Harrison Bader had a home run and 3 runs driven in. San Martin, not a great day on the hill. 4.5 innings pitched, 7 hits giving up, 2 strikeouts, and 4 earned runs. Continues to just keep getting shelled in his starts this season. His time in the big leagues may be coming to an end soon, but the only really bright spot on the day for the Reds, of course, was Mike Moustakas. Had 2 home runs, 4 runs driven in, and then also Tommy Pham was 4 for 4 the day with 2 runs scored as well. So we are now sitting at the end of April, sitting at 9-17 on the season, last place in the NL Central as we expected, and everybody on this team is struggling at the plate, as we probably also expected. Maybe 1 or 2 guys I expect to be hitting well, but we're a bad team, so it makes sense that we are bad at hitting. Really, the only player who's hitting well to start off the season has been Aquino, who has a 1087 OPS with 7 home runs, and because of that, we are actually now going to make the change to him to be playing every day. He is now the right fielder against right-handed pitching, which means that Tyler Naquin is now playing center field. Senzel is still the center fielder against lefties since Naquin can't hit against them, but, Senzel's not a great center fielder, neither is Naquin. Might as well get the better guy in the lineup, try to get him some numbers so we can trade him at the deadline, because he is a guy whose contract is up after this season as well. And as I hinted at, Raver San Martin is going to be sent down to AAA. He has given up 32 hits, 18 walks, 8 home runs, all in just 23 1/3 innings pitched. He's got a 9 ERA and 8 FIP. He got shelled through 5 starts, so he's going down to AAA to work on his stuff. And we are going to be calling up right-hander Robert Duggar from AAA, who has gotten off to a pretty solid start in AAA through 4 starts. He has a 1.63 ERA, so we're going to see if he can continue that in the big leagues. The Reds now travel out to Colorado to take on the Rockies at Coors Field, and towing the slab here in Denver for the Rockies will be Austin Gomber, the left-hander, making his 5th start of the season, while opposing him will be the right-hander Robert Duggar, making his season debut, recently called up from AAA Louisville. We'll start things off with Gomber on the hill. Mike Moustakas is going to hit a 2-out pitch, 3-2 count into the right center field gap, just finds the perfect hole in the shift, and he's got himself a double. Next batter up is Brandon Drury, and he's going to put a charge into one to deep left field, but this one's going to die out right at the track as it's put away, and it's still scoreless. Move things on bottom half of the second now. Runner on first base, nobody out. It's a 4-6-3 double play grounded into by Ryan McMahon, and then Duggar would proceed to strike out Randall Grichuk as he works a scoreless second as well. Move things on top of the third now. Jonathan India hits a ground ball at the shortstop. Should be an easy play for the usually sure-handed Jose Iglesias, but the throw is offline, so India reaches on an error. After that, it brings up Tyler Stevenson, who's going to club one into the left center field gap. It's going to hit off the grass in front of the warning track, and India is going to score all the way from first base with his speed, and the Reds jump out to a 1-0 lead. Now on to the bottom of the third, where Connor Joe is going to hit a ground ball up the middle, and that's a base knock for the Rockies. He's on first base. Next batter up is the catcher Diaz, who finds a hole on the right side. Back-to-back singles for the Rockies. And that would bring up now Jose Iglesias, who's going to fly one to deep right field. Aquino ranging back right in front of the warning track, puts it away, and they tag up the runner from second to third. So Joe's on third, runners on first and third for the Rockies. And then it's going to be a base knock up the middle for Charlie Blackmon, who drives in a run and makes it a 1-1 ball game. So first and second, 2 outs. Ball gets away from Stevenson on the breaking ball in the dirt. Both runners move up, so second and third. 2 outs as then CJ Cron gets away from Duggar, draws a walk, so it's bases juiced, but then Chris Bryant gets a ground ball at the shortstop. Farmer makes the play, and it remains a 1-1 game. Now on to the bottom of the fourth. Randall Grichuk's going to have a single here with 1 out to get a base runner on for Colorado. Next batter up is Connor Joe, who's going to hit one past the diving glove of Moustakas, and then Farmer can't make the play, so back-to-back base runners for the Rockies. And then it looks like an absolute shot here from Diaz, but instead it dies out in left center, and nobody's going to tag up either. So runners remain at first and second here with 2 outs, and then a ground ball to Farmer. Stabs it backhand, fires the second, and Farmer makes the play. How about it? Gets them out of the inning, still 1-1. Bottom of the fifth, Duggar would strike out Cron to end that inning. And Robert Duggar's day would end after that. Works 5 innings, only giving up 1 run. What else can you want from a guy who just got called up from AAA? But then Chachin comes on at the top of the 6th for the Rockies with 2 outs, and Mike Moustakas continues the hot streak, sends one into the right field seats, and that gives the Reds a 2-1 lead in this ball game. Off the bat of Mike Moustakas. So Tony Santillan, the Reds' go-to reliever, comes on here in the bottom of the 7th, and he would give up an infield single to Connor Joe as Farmer's able to knock it down but can't make a play on it. After that, it would bring up Diaz, who once again finds a hole on the right side of the infield. Back-to-back singles for the Rockies to lead off the inning. And then Garrett Hampson's going to lay down a bunt. For whatever reason, India was playing way back, and that's going to be a sac bunt, moves the runners up, and then once again, still playing way back, that's going to be a squeeze bunt, and Iglesias reaches on first. Horrible positioning there from Jonathan India and the Reds defense, so a run comes in, but luckily a disaster was thwarted as a line drive from Blackmon is caught, and then the tag is slapped on the runner for a double play, so they get out of it. Only a 2-2 game, and then in the bottom of the 8th now, CJ Cron singles. After that, it would be Ryan McMahon going down the left field line past the diving glove of Moustakas, and that would make it second and third here for the Rockies. They would then intentionally walk Randall Grichuk to load the bases here with 1 out. Bring up Luis Cessa out of the bullpen to face Connor Joe. This is his 11th appearance on the season for Cessa, and he would proceed to strike out Joe looking on the fastball. Next batter up is Diaz, and he would do the same thing, but swinging the up and in fastball as Cessa gets out of the jam, and he is absolutely hyped. Look at this man. He gets out of the jam, and then he would stay on for the 9th and work a scoreless 9th as well as he gets Blackmon to pop up into shallow center field. Naquin came on and put it away in center field, and then Daniel Bard came on in the top of the 10th inning here in extras, and the Reds just could not drive in that ghost runner in the top of the 10th as Aquino flies out to right field, and then Cessa stayed on for a 3rd inning of work and just immediately gives up a hit into left field. The ghost runner scores, and the Rockies walk this one off. The first pitch of the 10th inning for Cessa, and CJ Cron drives in the runner. The Rockies walk this one off by a score of 3-2 here in Colorado. Charlie Blackmon gets player of the game honors. He went 2 for 5 on the day. You also had Mike Moustakas, who went 4 for 4 with a home run and a double. Tyler Stevenson had 2 for 5 and had a double as well. And despite some solid pitching performances from the Reds on the day, they just could not outlast the Rockies here in extras. And before the next game, the Reds sent down both Vladimir Gutierrez, who hasn't gotten off to the best start, but his FIP was a little bit underlying. But even then, he does get the send down to AAA, as well as Robert Duggar after pitching in 1 game in the big leagues. And that is because both Luis Castillo and Mike Minor have returned from their injuries and are back in the starting rotation. And the Reds are back at Great American Ballpark to play host to the Pittsburgh Pirates, another NL Central foe, and toeing the slab for the Reds in this day, making his 2022 season debut, will be the right-hander Luis Castillo, and he'll be faced by the Pirates ace in Mitch Keller, making his 7th start of the 2022 campaign. We'll start things off bottom half of the first inning, where Jake Fraley is going to bloop one over the head of Vogelbach at first into right field for a base knock to lead off this game for the Reds. And then Tommy Pham's going to go at the right center field, and Fraley's got some fleet feet, so he's going to go first to third on the play. So now runners on the corners here. Moustakas in the 3-hole. Pham goes and swipes second base to put 2 runners into scoring position, and then Moustakas would get away from Keller, so he draws a walk, loads the bases here with nobody out to start this game for the Reds. But then Aquino hits a ground ball to shortstop. Cruz goes to second, the throw to first, not in time. Aquino beats it out, runs comes in. Now it's runners on the corners with 1 out, and Naquin's going to be plunked by the pitch, so it's bases loaded once again. Now Joey Votto at the dish is going to hit a deep ball to left field. It's going to be died at the track, though. Marisnick puts it away. The throw to the plate as Pham is tagging up is in time. My goodness, what a throw by Marisnick from left field. Gets the speedy Pham at the plate, and it's only going to be 1-0 Reds. We check things in top half of the third with Castillo as he strikes out Marisnick at the plate. And then it would be Roberto Perez who gets a high fastball with 1 out here in the inning, and he just somehow skies this one and barely gets over the fence in left field. So Roberto Perez, of all people, ties the game here at 1. We now move things on to the top of the fourth, where Luis Castillo, spoiler alert, kind of got shelled a bit in this start as Brian Reynolds goes up the middle for a single there, and then Daniel Vogelbach hits this one all the way to Kentucky. That one's in the bluegrass, as it's a 2-run shot off the bat of Vogie, puts the Pirates up 3-1 in this game. And they were not done in the inning. O'Neal Cruz, the 6'7" shortstop, goes into right field with a base knock, so he's on first. Still nobody out in the inning. Then Michael Chavis, the former Red Sox prospect, draws a walk. After that, it's Greg Allen, who also walks, so now the bases are juiced for the Buccos. And then with 1 out after a Marisnick strikeout, it's Roberto Perez again going down the right field line. That's going to drive in 2 runs. And then Aquino fields. The third's going to try to come around, but the relay from Motter is going to be perfect and get Greg Allen at the plate. So a 5-1 Pittsburgh lead. Aquino now at the dish in the bottom of the fourth hits a ground ball to Cruz, and he struggles with it. They originally roll him out, but after a challenge, it would be deemed safe. So Aquino's on first base, and then Joey Votto puts a charge into one into right field, and that ball's going to be out of here. Joey Votto, 2-run blast as the Reds do not quit in this game. So Votto hits the 2-run shot. Now on to the top of the fifth, where Brian Reynolds just immediately goes into the Pirates bullpen. 6-3, as Castillo was still in the game, but now he is not. Buck Farmer comes in to replace him, his 10th appearance on the season. And it wouldn't really matter, because then he gives up a second home run to Daniel Vogelbach, his second of the day, as the Buccos now lead this one 7-3. And things are really starting to get out of hand. So it's 7-3 ball game, bottom 6, and the bats will not quit for the Reds as Aquino goes up the middle for a base knock. After that, it's Naquin, who has not hit a home run yet this season until this point. Tyler Naquin hits one into the right field bleachers. It's a 2-run shot, and it's now back to being a 2-run game. 7-5 is your score. Then it would be Anthony Banda coming on for the Pirates out of the bullpen, the lefty facing the right-handed bat of Tyler Stevenson. He's going to go down the third baseline, and Ke'Bryan Hayes, the future Gold Glover, what a play from the outfield grass, or the foul grass, I should say. Just absolutely insane. Take a look at the StatCast replay. I mean, Jesus. And Stevenson's by no means like a super slow guy either. But then Taylor Motter, with a nice piece of 2-out hitting, bloops one into left field. That's going to be a base knock to keep things alive. And then Kyle Farmer, also going to keep things alive with a single of his own. So back-to-back base knocks for the Reds. And then Brandon Drury comes on to pinch hit for Jake Fraley, who cannot hit against lefties. And Drury delivers with a hit of his own. He's going down the left field line. That's going to be an RBI double for the pinch hitter Drury. And that's going to make it a 7-6 game. It's a one-run ball game. Unfortunately, Pham would then ground that to second base, so no more runs come in the inning. We're now on to the bottom of the 7th, where Tyler Naquin swinging bunt up to the pitcher, Perez Fields, and Naquin beats it out at first, so he's on first, and then he would proceed to swipe second base as well, get himself in a scoring position, and it turns out he didn't even need to do that because Joey Votto is going to commit some lefty-on-lefty crime. He's going yard for the second time in this game, and he puts the Reds on top 8-7. They storm all the way back in this game, and now we move things on to the top of the 9th, where Lucas Sims comes on looking for the save. With one out, it's Brian Reynolds. He's going to go in left center field gap. Brandon Drury diving in left field, cannot make the play, and Reynolds is going to have himself a triple. And not only is it a triple, as you will see here in a second, it also completes the cycle for Brian Reynolds. So he's now the tying run at third base, 90 feet away, only with one out. They would then intentionally walk Vogelbach as he's killed them all day. So runners on the corners here with one out. Cruz bloops one into left field. Drury puts it away, not deep enough for Reynolds to tag up. After that, it's Michael Chavis, who goes down on the 97-mile-an-hour fastball looking, and the Reds do it. They storm back and hang on in the 9th as Lucas Sims shuts the door, and the Cincinnati Reds win this game over the other cellar dweller in the NL Central, Pirates, by a score of 8-7. Joey Votto gets your player of the game honors. He had 2 home runs on the day. Naquin also 2 for 3 with a swinging bunt single and a home run. Brian Reynolds went 4 for 4 with the Pirates, hit for the cycle. Daniel Vogelbach had 2 home runs, and then just not a great season debut by Luis Castillo. All around, just a crazy game as the Reds storm back. But with that being said, that is going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Cincinnati Reds franchise here on MLB The Show 22. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I am saying, let's go C's, love to C's, baby.